What's up everyone, Wesley here, back again with another video, and today I want to talk about my G.A.S. My gear acquisition syndrome has reached critical mass and I'm about to explode. If you look at my channel over the last 2 years, you'll see that I have owned so many cameras, from the Leica Q3 to the Lumix S5 II, Nikon Z8, Z6 III, Z6 II, ZF, ZR, the Sony A7R5, A7C II. I've owned so many different cameras, Ricoh GR3, GR3X, and then of course the Fuji X-H2S, the X100, the X Pro, and now what I'm filming myself with today. Too many cameras, just too many cameras. And to be honest with you, I really need a drastic change. I need a drastic change to just really do something to put things in perspective. I need a drastic change to put things in perspective. And I'm doing that right now. I have taken down all my lights, all my professional microphone, my big dome light, it's gone. Even my teleprompter, I don't have my teleprompter up, it's gone. I stripped my studio down back to bare bones so that I can really get back to why I started this channel in the first place, and that's photography first, but also to teach, to show my photography off and show my travels off. And I've kind of let the slippery slope of gas and gear just get out of control. Buying all these expensive lights and expensive things that I really honestly don't need to do what I'm doing. I am filming this video on a camera this big right now, just to show you that you don't need a fancy 2-card, robust water sealed system just for something like this. I am a man of extremes. I've always been that way. And I need to make an extreme change to prove to myself that I can, not, continue to lust after new gear, that I can get what I need to get off of the gear that I already own, and honestly sell a good deal of the gear that I have, and really get back down to the heart of what this is supposed to be about, and that's photography for me. I really, really love getting all these new cameras and trying them out and doing reviews and this, that, and the other. It's fun, but it's also anxiety inducing. Just like my trip to Japan, I had no idea what to bring. I kept going back and forth over this or that or this. If I just had 1 or maybe 2 cameras, I wouldn't have much of a choice, and I'd be constrained to creating more and doing less with my gear and worried about what gear I have. Yeah. So I've created a challenge, and I'm going to challenge myself. It's called 2 lens, 1 camera. And no, that's not what you think it is. 2 lenses, 1 camera. I am going to, for the next 30 days, only use 1 camera body and 2 lenses, along with my DJI Pocket 3, of course, because I really do need something that has a microphone that I can film with, that captures good audio and has a separate camera angle, and that I can vlog with. So I got this camera right here that I'm filming with, and I got my DJI right here that I'm also filming with. I got 1 tube light set up to light me. That's it. That's what that light is right there. My big light's gone. My big mic's gone. I'm still using my accent light because they don't take up a lot of space. At the end of the day, I was starting to feel closed in my office, super closed in, with all this teleprompter, everything in the way. I couldn't have anyone sit in the seats right here that I have behind the camera because there was a teleprompter in the way. So yeah, this challenge is going to prove to myself if I only can get by for what I do with just 1 camera and 2 lenses. And the 2 lenses are going to be a 35mm full frame equivalent and a 24mm full frame equivalent. I prefer the 35 or 40-ish for street photography, and I feel like the 24mm is going to give me that extra range when I can't take a few steps back to get the scene in, whereas I can always zoom in with my feet, and I prefer using primes. So 2 prime lenses for this challenge, next 30 days. So what camera is it? What camera did I choose? Well, before we get to the camera, let's talk a little more about the rules of this challenge that I created. This can be my only camera. It's going to be my only camera aside from the DJI Pocket 3 that I can use to film B-roll with, and so on and so forth. So that being said, I can only use this one camera for YouTube. That's why the teleprompter's gone, because I don't have a big camera, big setup for this. I just have a little tiny pancake that I'm filming with right now, along with a little tiny camera that I'll talk about in just a second. I got to build the anticipation for you guys. The reason why I'm doing this, point number 2, the reason why I'm doing this is I've gotten out of control. I don't need an arsenal of cameras to do what I do. I just simply don't. You don't. And I need to prove it to you and to myself. So many times on YouTube, we do things like we get, another camera to review, and we talk about how great it is, and then we sell it. But you don't know that. You think we own like 50 cameras because we talk about all of them. Well, I don't. I sell most of the cameras that I don't, use day in and day out, and I only keep the ones that I actually do use. So for that matter, it might seem like I have a lot more cameras than I do, but I don't. I simply just don't. I have 4 cameras right now. Okay, 5 cameras. 5 cameras. I have 5 cameras right now. But I'm trying to pare that down to just 2. I just want 2 cameras. 1 main street camera and 1 main filming camera, and that is it, aside from my DJIs. That's what I'm trying to pare it down to. And this challenge is designed to help me understand if what I think I need is what I actually need. I don't have a script anymore, so I'm gonna ramble a little bit, and I'm gonna have to cut it up a little bit more. But hey, I think it's gonna lead to more honest conversations, more just me being myself, and less roboticness. At least that's the way I feel, and that could change. We shall see. Like, this is a test, and I want to show you could do the same thing. You don't need a lot of expensive gear to do the same thing. Now, point number 3 is like I just talked about. It's just a reset. I wanted to just reset to bare bones, and that's what I'm doing. That's why I have the 1 camera and my DJI, and that's it. The DJI mic is going to be my main filming mic. It's a good mic. I don't need an expensive audio interface like I have and all these things. This is my audio interface right here, and I have a mic back here. I don't need all that. You can see the arm of the mic. I don't need all that. I just don't. I don't need all that. You don't need all that. Now, am I going to keep it? Of course I'm going to keep it. And am I going to use it? Of course I'm going to use it. But not for the next month. For the next month, I want to prove to you and prove to myself that I don't necessarily need it, and you don't need it. The camera that I had to choose, that I wanted to choose, I needed to be a photo first camera. It needed to be a camera that it prioritizes my street photography and my travel photography, and that translates into point number 2, size. After going to Japan and bringing the Nikon Z6 III and 2 very hefty lenses with me, I quickly figured out how fatigue can translate into poor creative productivity. Because I started getting fatigued from carrying the big setup and the big bag and all the big heavy lenses, I just started to get tired of bringing it. And towards the end of the trip, when I was in Tokyo, where I really wanted to capture more of the city, I found myself wanting to leave it at home, not energized to shoot while I was out. And it led to less photos being taken. And yeah, I still had fun, but I didn't get to take as many photos as I really wanted to. And that's a kind of a travesty, to be honest with you, because I really, really, really wanted to take the photos in Tokyo. But it is what it is. I mean, I was fatigued from all the, carrying the heavy gear around, and now I understand that size matters, and I needed something small. I should have brought something small. I said that in my last video, and I meant it, and that's why this is going to be small. So small, capable. It needs to have IBIS at a minimum. It needs to have a good sensor at a minimum. It needs to be okay in low light. I don't do a lot of low light. It needs to have good video specs, which you can tell me. You're looking at the video with me. This one has pretty good video specs. It does what I need it to do, at least. And here's the fun part. This is a camera that I have shit on hard, guys. I made a whole video about why you shouldn't buy it. And then I bought it. Yeah, I know. But I'm going to see if all of that shitting I did on it in a previous video was warranted, and I'm going to find out if I actually eat my words on this, because I am going to. Well, let's just get to the tool that I'm going to use for the next 30 days. Let's just get to the tool. But first, I am filming on it, so let me go ahead and grab it, and we'll talk more about it. Oh, all right. Now, the camera that I am using to film on is the Fuji X-E5. This little flip-up screen makes a huge difference. It makes this photo-capable camera more useful in video, I should say. But this is it. So I am using the Fuji X-E5. Why? Well, look how tiny this thing is. Look how slim it is. I can fit this in my hands like this. It's small enough to fit in any bag. It's got good video capabilities. Like I said, it's got IBIS. It's got a 40 megapixel sensor. It's got 4K, 24 and 60p. I don't typically use 120 too often, so I think I'm going to be all right without the 120. Now, it does have trade-offs. It's not going to be weather resistant. It's not going to have a second card slot. And you know, Fuji's autofocus is kind of going through a little bit of a troublesome path right now. So I'm not too pumped about the autofocus, but because it is so small, it will lead to me using it more, taking it out more, taking more shots with it. So while my hit rate might not be as good, I still think I'm gonna get some pretty good shots with it. And I love this flippy screen it's great for for hip shots. I can do like this, and then I can use it for low shots like this. But then it also flips all the way up to film myself. And that's awesome. That's awesome. Will these concerns come back to bite me? They might, but that's what I'm gonna find out over the next month. This is all that I have to use for YouTube videos, for travel, for street, and I'm going to Boston in just a couple days, and I cannot wait to put it through its paces when I'm over there. And that really is going to be the start of me testing this camera to see if it really could do everything for me. So here's the core realization. When I was in Japan, I just really felt the weight of the Nikons, and it just felt like too much like work. I felt like I was shooting a wedding, carrying those things around, the Nikon around and the big lenses around with me. And I was on vacation, I was traveling, I was having fun, and I felt like the Nikons, the weight and the heft and the size of everything kind of sucked a little bit of that fun out of me, a little bit of that creative mojo out of me. I didn't want something that's going to kill my joy when I'm out doing photography. I wanted something that's going to add to it. I've always found that Fuji's have added to it. They're small, they're lightweight, they have the fun film simulations, the dials. They're just fun to use in general. So that's why I chose a Fuji for this experiment. Now, like I said, I've crapped on this camera already, so that could change pretty quick. The real reason that I'm doing this challenge is to prove to myself and to show you that you don't need all this expensive gear to do what you do. You can get by with this. I don't need this camera. I could have just gotten an XS20, to be honest with you, for even less money. But this is the camera I chose because of its size, form factor, and the ability to have the flip-up screen. It seems like it could be the do-it-all camera for me, and that's what we're going to find out. But I'm trying to prove to you and to me that you don't need all this expensive gear to do what you want to do. But I still have gear acquisition syndrome. It's not healed. It's not remedied yet. So we got more work to do here. But there you have it. This is going to be my setup for the next 30 days. All my main studio filming is going to be done on here, like the start of the video. I'll use the action or the pocket for B-roll and vlogging along the way when I travel. I spent the last 2 years running through cameras, and I finally have figured out in these last 2 years of running through cameras what I value and what I need to do what I like to do. And I value size, weight, and portability over pretty much everything. And I don't need a robust camera setup that has weather resistant 2-card slots, because I'm not shooting paid work, and I don't have to worry about that type of stuff. Losing my if I lose a couple of hours worth of shooting out on the streets, I'll just replace the card with a backup and move on with my life. Whereas if I was shooting a wedding, that could be someone's only memories, and you never can shoot with just 1 card slot at a wedding. And weddings can have rain, so you can't just shoot with something that doesn't have weather resistance. But if I'm doing it for me, and I'm doing it for YouTube, and I'm doing it for fun, I think I can. And that's what we're gonna find out. All right, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe for more so you can see this journey, and check out my Japan videos. I still think I make great content out there. I enjoyed it quite a bit. The Nikon Z6 III did a fantastic job. It just stopped being fun to use about halfway through due to the size and weight of it. All right, that's it. I'm done. See ya. Peace.
On a long line of silence.
Let me unbox it right here for you guys. I have not unboxed it yet. So, I'm not doing any crazy stuff. You know what the inside of these boxes look like. It's not that big of a deal. Books and stuff at the top. That's all that's at the top. Open this bad boy. You got camera with the lens already on it. That's strange. And this is different too. This is more of a rope style. I might actually use this. Huh. The camera's already on. Is there a cap in here? Oh yeah, the cap's right here. This is a different setup, Fuji. You actually put the lens on the body and shift it like that? All right, there it is. Look how small that is. That is smaller than the X106. At least it seems like it is.